your understanding is there was no one in the car?
No one was in the car.
Okay. Still a dangerous thing that happened. Could have been someone lying in the back seat or a bullet.
Enjoy the video, hit the like button.
All right. Let's open the record on this case. It's 25 SC 004763, State versus Toussaint. Ms. Toussaint is up at the podium. Counsel, will you get your name on the record for our court reporter?
Mike Jacobs.
We've got Mr. Jacobs here for Ms. Toussaint and Mr. Miller for the state. Ms. Toussaint, in just a moment, Mr. Miller is going to put you under oath and then ask you the same kind of questions you've heard other people get asked. You'll need to answer truthfully and completely. And if at any point you need to speak with Mr. Jacobs or you've got questions for me, you'll let me know.
Yes, sir.
Great. Then let's get started.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please raise your right hand? You swear and affirm that the testimony you provide regarding this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Please state your true and correct legal name.
John A. Toussaint.
And can you spell your first and last name, please?
First name ZHANAE. Last name TOUSSAINT.
You can put your hand down.
Ms. Toussaint, are you at the time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medicine?
No, I'm not.
Is there a medication that you normally take that you have not been given today?
No.
Ms. Toussaint, how old are you and how far did you go in school?
25, and I completed my high school diploma.
So you're able to read, write, and understand the English language. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Toussaint, you understand that you are charged with the following offenses in indictment number 25 SC 004763, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of criminal damage to property in the first degree, and 2 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to either plead guilty or not guilty to these charges, and if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes.
Have you gone over the waiver of rights form with your attorney?
Yes.
Do you have any questions regarding the conditions in this form?
No, sir.
And is this in fact your initials on this form?
Yes, sir.
And does your signature on the second to the last page of this form indicate that you understand all the terms that are listed and the rights that it went over regarding this form?
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to speak with your lawyer about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding charges in this indictment, including any potential defenses?
Yes.
Do you need more time to discuss this case with your attorney?
No, I don't.
Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes.
Counsel, are you satisfied that your client has a full understanding of these proceedings?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive any and all defects in the indictment, including any with respect to your client's name?
I do.
Ms. Toussaint, have you been arrested on these charges?
Yes.
The state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges. Do you or your attorney know of any outstanding warrants related to these charges?
No.
No.
Has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge you are pleading guilty to today?
Yes.
For example, the charge of aggravated assault carries a sentencing range of 1 to 20 years. Count 2, criminal damage to property in the second degree, carries a sentencing range of 1 to 10 years. And the 2 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony is a 5-year sentence that runs consecutive to the other counts. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand that this is a negotiated plea, which means the state will recommend to the court the following sentence? For count 1, aggravated assault, 5 years to serve 2 years, suspended with the balance probated. Count 2, criminal damage to property in second degree, 5 years to serve 2 years, suspended with the balance probated to run concurrent with count 1. And counts 3 and 4, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 5 years probated, but consecutive to counts 1 and 2. However, the court does not have to accept this recommendation and can sentence you to the maximum on each charge and can run those sentences consecutive or concurrent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you do not accept the court sentence, you may withdraw your plea?
Yes.
You understand if you are placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probation without being subject to revocation for the balance of the sentence.
Yes.
You understand that this is a guilty plea which may be permanently recorded on your criminal history.
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are currently on probation or parole, your probation or parole may be revoked based on you entering a guilty plea today?
Yes.
You understand that if you are not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at trial would. And that is true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else.
Yes.
You understand that neither the court, your attorney, nor the district attorney's office has anything to do with parole, and no one can guarantee parole no matter what anyone has told you.
Yes, sir.
You understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial. For example, your guilty plea may affect your right to vote, the right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment. Do you understand?
Yes.
You understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, you cannot use, receive, possess, or transport, or own a firearm, and that if you do, you could be charged with another felony offense.
Yes.
You understand that that is true even if you are pleading under first offender.
Yes.
Now, are you asking to be treated as a first offender under the provisions of the First Offender Act?
Yes.
Have you ever pled guilty or nolo contendere to or ever been convicted of a felony in the state of Georgia or any other jurisdiction?
No.
Have you ever been sentenced for any crime, felony, or misdemeanor under the First Offender Act?
No, sir.
Has your lawyer explained the First Offender Act to you?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you violate the terms of your first offender sentence or commit a new offense while on first offender probation, your first offender status could be revoked and you could be adjudicated guilty and you could be resentenced to up to the maximum sentence for each charge in this indictment.
Yes, I understand.
You understand that the federal government considers a first offender plea a conviction for the purpose of deportation, and it could still affect your ability to remain.
Yes, sir.
You understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a guilty plea.
Yes, sir.
You understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights. And I'm going to say them one at a time to make sure you understand. You are giving up the right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you and to question them, the right to assistance of counsel hired by you or court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at the trial of your case, the right to the presumption of innocence, which means that the state must prove you are guilty for each charge in the indictment beyond a reasonable doubt, the right to testify on your own behalf or remain silent, and the jury would be told that they cannot use that choice against you, the right to present evidence on your own and to call your own witnesses if you choose, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after trial. Do you understand that you are giving up those following rights by entering a plea today?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, are you satisfied that your client understands these rights and they'll be waiving by pleading guilty to these charges?
Yes.
Mr. Hussein, has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea today?
No, sir.
Is it your decision to waive these rights that we just talked about and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
How do you plead to the charges in indictment number 25 SC 004736, and those charges are aggravated assault, count 2, criminal damage to property in the first degree, and counts 3 and 4, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony?
Guilty.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
You understand that you do not have a right to appeal directly from your guilty plea, but if you believe there is some error in your guilty plea, you can apply for the appropriate appellate court to request a discretionary appeal.
Yes.
You understand that the discretionary appeal procedure, which is outlined in OCGA section 5-6-35, must be completed within 30 days of today.
Yes.
You understand that you have only 4 years from today for a felony charge and 12 months from today for a misdemeanor charge to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Saint. Your Honor, had this case gone to trial, the state would have been able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that on March 24th of 2025, officers responded to Georgia, located in Fulton County, regarding a dispute. Upon arrival, they spoke with the alleged victim, Ms. Sheila Chapman, who stated that she was shot at by the girlfriend of her child's father, and she identified that suspect as the defendant, Ms. Toussaint. Ms. Chapman indicated that she was shot at while she was in her vehicle. She stated that she was sent to the location to meet with the father of her child, who was not on the scene, to confront him about a previous incident that occurred. And during the conversation, the child's father left the location, and that's when the altercation with Ms. Toussaint had proceeded. She stated that she did not say anything to physically assault Ms. Toussaint. She also indicated that she attempted to leave the location in her vehicle, and at that point, she stated that Ms. Toussaint fired 2 shots from a handgun toward her vehicle. Officers observed 1 entry hole to the back window of Ms. Chapman's window, and they also saw a flat tire on Ms. Chapman's vehicle as well. They also located 2 9mm shell casings from the scene. While conducting an investigation, Ms. Toussaint arrived back at the location, and when officers approached her, they saw what appeared to have been a handgun contained in her pocket. They did do a pat down, and they retrieved a 9mm Glock 43 9mm pistol. She was read her Miranda rights, and she agreed to speak with the officers. And at that time, she admitted that she did fire 2 shots at Ms. Chapman's vehicle, one hitting her tire and the other hitting the rear window of Ms. Chapman's vehicle. She stated that she shot at the vehicle out of self-defense because she had been harassed multiple times in the past by Ms. Chapman. However, but when asked if Ms. Chapman had physically assaulted her at that time before she fired the handgun, she stated no. Your Honor, the state was provided some additional information by defense counsel today that somewhat contradicts the report. It also states that in the transcript that this defendant and our victim had been kind of engaged in some type of ongoing dispute in which the defendant may have been threatened by our victim multiple times prior to the incident taking place. Your Honor, due to her lack of criminal history and due to the background regarding this incident, the state is recommending a total sentence of 10 years to serve, 2 years suspended with the balance probated. We also asked for the following conditions. Of course, no contact with Ms. Sheila Chapman. We also asked that the defendant submit to an anger management course, that she forfeit all firearms and have no firearms, weapons, or replicas. We also asked for a Fourth Amendment waiver. And when it comes to the damage that Ms. Chapman's vehicle sustained, we asked that a restitution matter be set later, Your Honor, once we provide that documentation to defense counsel.
All right. So the way you understand it, the connection between Ms. Chapman and Ms. Toussaint is that Ms. Chapman had a child with the person that in March of last year, Ms. Toussaint was seeing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson, criminal history information on Ms. Toussaint, please.
There are 3 cycles. The last arrest was November the 5th, 2025 in Turners County for 5 counts of obtain / procure, give inmate prohibited items without authorization. There was no disposition for that arrest. Also, she appears to have an open case out of Douglas County for 2 counts of burglary in the 2nd degree. Nothing in addition.
The first case you mentioned, is that a Georgia case?
It said Turner County, Georgia.
Okay, Turner County.
That's in South Georgia, way south.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up, never heard of it. Huh. Okay. Mr. Jacobs, share with me what you want about the case, but I also would like to hear a little bit about first offender, and gosh, she's got 2 open cases.
Yeah, I can address the Douglas County case because I'm retained on that one. The Turner County case, I don't know anything about.
It's
As
pretty
far as
fresh,
the facts,
too.
It's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not retained on that. I'm not sure who her attorney down as Turner County is on that one.
Okay.
The Douglas County case, we are going to trial on that. It's not set for trial yet. What happened in that case was a friend of hers worked security at an Amazon warehouse. The security guard let Ms. Toussaint into the Amazon thing, gave her permission to come through with employee entrance. They took something out of that, so they did commit a theft. They charged her with burglary, but we have the security guards saying that I let her in, she did not burglarize, I gave her permission. So we're going to trial on a burglary charge on that.
It's more of a shoplifting or theft.
It's more of a
It's not really a shop, but it's a theft situation as opposed to burglary.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah. And
What was taken?
I don't know the exact items. There were several items taken.
Okay.
So yeah, so we're going to trial on that, unless they offer us to plead to a theft by shoplifting or
theft.
something.
Okay.
But it wasn't a burglary.
Okay. And when-ish did that happen?
When did it happen? I'm drawing a blank on the timeline of that, the Douglas County case.
March of the year before.
Yeah, it was into 2024. She says March. That's probably right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So a year before this situation with Ms. Chapman.
exactly. Yeah.
All right. And then you don't know much about the Turner County
I do
situation?
not know about Turner County.
Okay. Ms. Toussaint, I'm gonna hear more from your lawyer, but since we're on that topic, I don't want you to say anything other than yes, if yes is the right yes or no. I'm not trying to get you to admit to anything. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck the charge is down in Turner County. It sounds like it's you went to visit an inmate and provided that inmate something that the inmate shouldn't have. Is that the nature of the allegation? Or what is it you understand you're in trouble for in Turner County?
So to be honest, I drove a friend down there to dump something in the jail dumpster, but because my vehicle was on camera, they have my tag number, so they're charging me.
Sure, it was your car, but so someone in your car was trying to leave something that in
Yeah.
theory would get to,
Yeah.
your friend knew someone who was in prison or jail in Turner County.
Yes, sir.
Got it. And you drove all the way from Atlanta down to Turner County. All right. Good friend. Back to you, Mr. Jacobs.
Yeah, briefly before I go into the facts of the case, she does have a good job. She's a general manager at U-Haul. Her boss is here in the courtroom. Her boss came to support her today. Her boss is aware of everything involved in the case, and she still has her job. There's no with with that. As far as the facts, as the state alluded, there's a bad history between these two. They share a child's father, or they each have a child with the father. Miss Chapman has been terrorizing her for a long time now. She shows up at her house with weapons. She threatens her repeatedly. She goes on her social media. And while Miss Chapman was serving a prison sentence for trafficking, she was communicating and terrorizing her through
Trafficking drugs, human trafficking.
Human trafficking.
And then when she got out, she was terrorizing Zanae, coming to her house with weapons, threatening to kill her, to the point that Ms. Toussaint was granted a TPO in Clayton Superior Court against her, and that is still active right now. The only time she's ever owned a gun in her life was pretty soon before this incident took place. She bought a gun just for self-protection, specifically against Miss Chapman. On this day, Miss Chapman pulled up, started threatening her, got out of her car, was coming towards her, and she shot at it. She had on the body cam video, I had the entire thing transcribed and sent to the state last night. She videotaped the entire thing on her cell phone, except for the
She meaning Ms. Toussaint.
Toussaint, yeah.
She's filming, look, here's this lady at my house, not supposed to be here. She's getting out of her car. She's coming towards me.
Exactly. And the police looked at that video. The shooting's not on video because she put her phone down before she shot.
Yeah.
And so I sent the transcript to the state last night. I think that's what led the state to come off from 10 years with 2 to serve in prison to today, 10 years to serve 2, but suspending that, assuming she complies with everything on probation. And that's where we are today. Ms. Toussaint has no interest in ever contacting Ms. Chapman. She's scared of her. I've told her that if Ms. Chapman ever comes to her house, to call the police, if she feels that she's threatened and she comes to her house, she knows she's not going to ever reach out to Ms. Chapman after this. So we're asking Your Honor to, I know it is a dangerous case anytime you start firing a gun at somebody. It's a bad case. And normally a case like this, when you're shooting at somebody, would require prison. But we're asking Your Honor to consider the suspended sentence, given the fact that she has no prior convictions and she does have a good job with somebody who's here supporting her, who's her boss. And we're asking Your Honor to give her a chance to comply with the terms of probation and show that whatever she had going on in her life is behind her and she's going to work, go home at night and not get in trouble anymore.
Okay. You've had a lot going on the last year or so. Ms. Toussaint, a few questions from me. What's the last name of the gentleman who has a kid with you and Miss Chapman?
Cole?
Mr. Cole?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have a child with Mr. Cole?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have other kids or that's your one kid?
One kid.
Okay. Boy or girl?
A girl.
Okay. And does she stay with you?
Yes.
Is Mr. Cole active in her life?
He's currently incarcerated.
Okay. If Mr. Cole were here right now, would he say, these days I'm talking with Ms. Toussaint, or these days I'm talking with Chapman, or I got another young lady in my life?
We still communicate, but as far as a relationship, I've been in a lot of stuff behind him, so I'm trying to move on and do better.
Okay. So you aren't looking to maintain, other than you are co-parenting, a relationship with him?
Correct.
Okay. How much longer is he supposed to be in jail?
He just got transported to federal custody, so it might be a while.
What's he doing in federal custody?
Transportation to engage in criminal sexual activity of a minor.
He's going to be in federal prison for a long time. Okay. And then Ms. Chapman, someone was saying you were saying she's in jail for trafficking. She is now, or she had been?
When I met Cole, she was currently serving a 6-year sentence for sex trafficking. When me and him would post on social media, she would DM me from a contraband phone she had and just threaten me of what she would do once she got out.
And then she got out.
And 2 months after her release, she arrived at my home with a knife. I relocated. I called the police. I filed a report. She found the new address. I did it. I know I made a poor decision, but it was to protect me and my family. I felt that was the only choice I had, to let her know to just leave me alone. I'm currently a general manager and I'm just trying to do better with my life. And I'm also a single mom.
Okay. Where you stay, is it just you and your daughter, or do you have?
So I was staying with Cole, but
Right.
from everything I've been going through, I'm back with my mom until I can get my own self together for me
Okay.
and my daughter.
And what county is that in?
Clayton.
Okay. All right.
And her mom is in the courtroom this morning as well.
Hi, Mom. What days of the week do you work at U-Haul?
Monday through Saturday.
6 days a week?
Yes, sir.
How many hours? I mean, like a
As a
typical.
general manager, I'm doing maybe 8 to 10, full shift. I'm full time.
Okay.
And I love what I do.
Good. Where's the U-Haul place?
In Atlanta, Georgia, DeKalb County,
How long have you had that job?
since July. So within 5 months, I've received 2 promotions.
Okay. Do you have, the gun that you had, where'd you get it?
I bought it
Okay,
From-
but you bought it like at a gun store or
at a
from?
gun show, but it was registered to me. I bought
Okay.
it at a gun show.
And when's the last time you heard anything from Miss Chapman after this situation?
So I filed the TPO when I was released in June. when the TPO was in place, she was still coming on my social media, engaging with my posts. And I knew it was her because she came from a profile with the same profile picture that she had previously sent threats on. But that was back in June. So since then, nothing now.
Okay. So she's left you alone as far as you can tell since June.
So far, yes.
Okay. All right. I need to, where is the U-Haul boss? Hey, U-Haul boss. How are you? Thank you for wearing corporate gear. I don't want to interfere with Ms. Toussaint's job. It sounds like she is doing good work and you'd like to keep her around. Tell me how it flows, either because you're in charge and you make the decision, or U-Haul corporate policy if someone has a felony conviction. Are you able to hire people with felony convictions?
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, we do hire people with felonies. The
Great.
CEO of our company believes that everybody has a past and,
and a future.
yeah.
Okay,
And so it's not gonna affect her at all.
okay,
What we really care about is she has a great reputation. She has great, customer service, and she works really hard.
sounds like it. I mean, it sounds like 60 hours a week. I'd hire her for my U-Haul too. Dang,
Well, that's just until she gets hired up. We had to pretty much fire an entire store. So now she's hiring her team.
okay,
So she's working a lot of extra hours until she gets staffed up.
good. All right, thank you for being here. All right, well, Ms. Toussaint, I find there is a factual basis for your plea. You've admitted to what happened, but you and Mr. Jacobs have provided some context. What happened with Superintendent? Was she in the car when you shot through the back window, or she had not gotten back in the car yet?
No, she hadn't gotten back in the car.
Okay, so you shot up her car with her not in the car. Did you know if she had any kids in the car?
No, it was no kids in the car
How did you know that?
because her window was down and
Okay.
her driver's side door was open.
Okay, so you could see into the car, and your understanding is there was no one in the car.
No one was in the car.
Okay. Still a dangerous thing that happened.
Dangerous.
Could have been someone lying in the backseat, or a bullet ricochets and you were not aiming at her, but it hits some metal and it hits her thigh and she bleeds out right there. And then we're not talking about your job at U-Haul. We're talking about life or 30 years. And you've got a little one who would get to know mommy through plexiglass. And it was that close to it being that kind of thing. That's what happens when you start pulling the trigger. And I'm not criticizing you protecting yourself. That's not my point at all. It takes it to a whole nother level when people pull triggers. So fortunately, it was just a Kia Forte that took it. But that got pretty messy. I find there is a factual basis for your plea to the things you're charged with, and that your plea is knowing and voluntary. You've been very well counseled in terms of the representation that you have retained, and I get the sense that you followed all the things we talked about. Do you have any questions about anything we've discussed?
No, sir.
Okay. I also find that your plea is voluntary, meaning that no one is forcing you to do it. Mr. Jacobs, can someone in my office sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then Ms. Toussaint, is it all right if someone in my office electronically signs your name indicating your plea?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to do that. I'm going to sentence you a little differently. The suspended part, I understand that it's a proxy for the 2 years you were going to serve if the facts had been other than what Mr. Jacobs was able to show the state, the power of recording things. We all should have body cams until you're in a private space. But what I'm going to do is sentence you to 8 years probation, which is effectively what this was. It was 10 years to serve 2, but the 2 years were suspended. I'm going to sentence you to 8 years probation. It's a long time, but it's appropriate given the seriousness of the situation. And frankly, the fact that you've got 2 other potential felony cases bouncing around, it's a rough year for you. But just like your boss said, people have a past and they have a future, and you're right now, and future is looking like you've tightened some bolts inside and are making better decisions. While you are on this probation, no contact with Ms. Chapman. I know you don't want that. So that's an easy one. As you may have heard me say to someone who preceded you up here, that's not meant to be a trap. If she is contacting you, just record that, make copies, give it to Mr. Jacobs so he can get it to the prosecutor and they can say, you need to knock it off, Chapman, because we're not going to go after Ms. Toussaint because you bait her and she finally writes back and says, leave me alone. You are not going to get in trouble for that, but just don't say, leave me alone. Get it to Mr. Jacobs. And ultimately, we may need to reinforce the TPO. But that applies. And if she's contacting you, she's violating it. And you need to bring that to your lawyer's attention so he can bring it to the state's attention, because that's called aggravated stalking when someone violates a TPO. You will need to complete an anger management course. You will forfeit the Glock that you bought at the gun show, but that's no huge loss. You may lose a little bit of money, but you can't have a gun while you're on probation anyway. And in fact, you're not going to have a gun anymore. And there'll be a Fourth Amendment waiver while you are on probation, which just means if probation has some reason to think, this is a little weird, we want to search your bag or do this or that, they don't need a warrant to do that while you're on probation. I'm not sentencing you as a first offender. That's why I asked your supervisor if this outcome would impact your future with U-Haul, because that sounds promising. I'm not comfortable saying, hey, this was a first time thing, given all this other stuff you've got going on. And I appreciate that your good lawyer is going to shake those folks in Douglas saying it's not a burglary, but it was still a theft. And we got this thing down in Turner County. And so I don't think it is truly reflective of what was going on to say she'd never been in trouble before. Those other cases may all go away. That would be a good outcome for you. But I'm not comfortable, given the gravity of what this was about and the other things that I've learned about that were going on with you as recently as 2 months ago. And then sounds like the Douglas County thing was about a year before you shot up Ms. Chapman's car. So it is probation. It's not first offender probation. It's all the conditions that your lawyer negotiated. Mr. Miller, anything else on behalf of the state?
I'd just like to add also, Jan, that the state did reach out to the victim multiple times prior with the amended offer.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jacobs, anything else on behalf of Ms. Toussaint?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Toussaint, do you have any questions about how this is going to work?
No, sir.
You've never been on probation before. You're going to be on probation now. It will become less and less intrusive the better you do in the process. So if you are checking in whenever your officer needs you to check in, they give you more and more degrees of freedom. And so it may become unsupervised after a couple of years where, yes, there's this probation out there, but it's actually not anything that's limiting the things you want to do in your life. Because you live in Clayton County right now, that's where you'll be supervised. If you move because you get your own place or you and your mom move, that's fine. You just need to let probation know that you've got a new address, because that may shift the supervision to a different county if you move to a different county. Ms. Simpson is going to give you all the reporting details. Do not miss your reporting date with probation. That's how things get started, and you get into their system. If you don't show up for that, they just reach out to me and say, we need a warrant for Ms. Toussaint. And it's just, that would be the wrong way to start probation. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No.
All right. Well, you should thank your mother and you should thank your supervisor. Having them here is a big impact, because it shows me there are folks who know you well who are here for you and believe in you. And that's good to have.
Thank you.
Okay? What's your kid's name?
Honesty.
Honesty. That's a burdening name. All right. Good luck with things.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs.